Next pattern up is a peking caddis for the Grannom, but you can use this for any caddis species out there. So to get started, we're going to tie this on a size 14 hook with a slotted tungsten bead, but remembering you can do this with any nymph hook and with any style of bead. We're also going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's about 6.5 wraps of lead wire. It's going to add a little more weight, and also it's going to help lock in that bead from sliding back down the hook shank. And when you're wrapping this lead wire in, just kind of shoot the gaps, go right in between the grooves, secure that, and then if you have a little notch left of that lead wire, you can go back on the thread on itself and you should be able to just cut that right off with a thread. Okay. Now, this is imitating that peking caddis. So what we're doing is we're imitating that worm that's still stuck inside the casing and its head's just kind of peeking out. So we're going to take our thread, we're going to wrap back. For the actual worm, and this what we're doing is we're imitating the Grannom Caddis is the worm itself, the larva is kind of a brighter green worm. And what we're going to do is imitate that worm sticking its head out of its casing. We're going to take caddis green ice dub. We're going to pull some fibers out, like so, and we're going to tie this down. We're going to split the fibers. These fibers are fairly long. Tie this in, and we're going to split the difference. Tie that down using that pinch technique. Once, twice. Wrap forward a little bit, and then we're going to fold this back onto itself. Wrap back once. Lock that in nice and tight. We're going to take our scissors under tension and then just go well beyond the bend and just cut. And there is our worm. Now, next thing is we're going to tie on our rib. This is basically a sexy waltz worm variation from here on out. We're going to be using a sulky pearl for our rib. Unlike the pearl tinsel that we use in class, which is perfectly fine, this sulky thread has got incredible breaking strength for its diameter. So it's going to allow you, when you're making those ribs, to really pull down tight, cinching that rib deep into the body. And for the body, because this is a case caddis, we're going to use like a darker brown. This is a dark brown dubbing made by a friend of mine, Joe Corey. Just a really nice dark brown hare's ear. Very easy to dub. It's got very short, coarse, stiff guard hairs, natural furs. So you can always pluck this out and pull those fibers out to imitate legs on the larva. We're going to dub. Again, what I like about this Joe's blend here, this dubbing is just so easy to dub. Take that, we're going to slide the dubbing down, and we're going to build our body. Keeping the patterns very simple for this entire line of Grannoms. And when I'm wrapping the body, I'm wrapping at a slight angle. This time I'm wrapping away, actually towards the bend slightly, and then just finish the fly off right there. Now with my tinsel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap at an angle going forward. So I'm overlapping with the hopes that that tinsel is going to stick out rather than just dig down into the same groove or valley that you're creating with the dubbing, if that makes sense. So you're just crisscrossing, creating two angles. One angle of the dubbing you're wrapping in the rear, towards the rear, then the ribbing that you're doing, you're going to wrap in the forward direction. So you're crisscrossing them so that ribbing stands out rather than digging down into the body. Just 1 or 2 wraps right there, lock that in. Take your tinsel, cut that off, and then we're just going to do a whip finish. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2. And there you have it. Just a variation of a sexy waltz worm, but in a darker color scheme with a bright butt, or what they call a tag, just imitating a Grannom Caddis that's still trapped within its casing. So there it is.